Hello, kiddos. Happy Friday. It is the Friday before a long weekend. Monday is Labor Day, so we will not be here on Monday. And so I wanted to take this Friday in Wildcat Pride to do a check-in with you. We have been in school for almost exactly 1 month. And 1 month is a great time to do a check-in. You know how you go to the doctor for a checkup? Well, this is a 1 month checkup of school. I want to know, how are you? How are you doing? I went to a meeting on Wednesday, and our new superintendent of schools, Dr. Calvin Watts, asked the group of principals in the room, how are the children? And he asked us several times throughout his presentation, how are the children? And so I wanted to take today during Wildcat Pride to ask you, how are you? How are you really? Because a lot of times we ask one another, how are you? And then we say, fine. And then we go on to the next part of our conversation. But I want to go a little bit slower this time. And I want to know, how are you really? We spent a year doing digital instruction, more than a year. And we're still doing school in the middle of a pandemic, which has a lot of challenges, right? And the teachers are so happy. We are all so happy to have you back. But we really do want to know how you are doing in this kind of new time that we're living in. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions that I want you to consider in this activity, like, what are you loving about school? What are you not loving about school? Are you excited to be back? Are you not excited to be back? Did you love Zooming with your teachers? Are you struggling in your classes right now? Are you doing great in your classes right now? Is there anything you'd like a do-over on? Would you like a repeat of something? What kinds of help do you need to be successful? Is there anything that you want us to know that might make school better? How are you? How are you really? That's what I want to know. And so we're going to get the answers to those questions right now, and we're going to do it in a super fun way. Step one, you're going to get a piece of paper from a notebook or a scrap piece of paper, something that you're going to throw away, whatever, no big deal. We're going to project these questions on the screen. And on that piece of paper, you're going to pick 1 or 2 questions to answer. And your teacher's going to give you some quiet time to answer the questions on your scrap piece of paper. These are going to be anonymous. Remember from the announcements, anonymous means that we don't know your identity, right? So do not put your names on these papers. They are going to be shared in a minute, but I don't want your name on it. I want you to feel really safe to write your real feelings, your real honest feelings. Once you finish writing, your teacher will scan the room and make sure that everybody's finished writing. And then your teacher will ask you to crumple up your paper into like a snowball. When they're all crumpled up, your teachers are going to ask you to throw them across the room. And when all those snowballs have landed on the floor, then your teacher is going to ask you to pick up the snowball that landed closest to you. And then you're going to open up your snowball. And then your teacher is going to call on some of you guys, hopefully all of you guys, if we have time, to read the responses that are on the paper. And then once you read those, you can have a little bit of a discussion. So if somebody reads a snowball and says something about how they're doing really, and you guys want to have a little discussion, do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you feel the same way? Do you have a different perspective? Then after each paper is read is a great time to have a little bit of a discussion. Keep in mind that these are going to be respectful and appropriate. I want you to be honest. Honesty is wonderful, but we're going to be appropriate and never ever be ugly. If our feelings are negative, we're going to share our negative feelings in a really appropriate and respectful way. Okay? And that's it. I want the teachers, as the kiddos are talking, to maybe just take some mental notes or maybe scratch down some notes. If there are some themes that are coming up, take some notes, because I really do want to know how the kids responded to this activity, because I want to be able to answer the question, how are our kids really? It's important for me to know. So guys, I hope that you have fun with this activity. Once you're done, you can just throw away your papers. Make sure that you pick up everything off of the floor and have fun and have some really cool discussions if you wouldn't mind. When we're done with this, I want you to do something super duper important and special. Last week, I asked the teachers to pick a couple of kids to celebrate, to send a positive email home and just tell your parents or your guardians how awesome you are and how much they're enjoying having you in class. Because on these days, we need to focus on the really good stuff that's happening, because there's a lot of good stuff that's happening at our school, and we go to an awesome school and we have awesome students. So I wanted them to celebrate you. But today, when you're done with your snowball activity, I want you to take some time to also celebrate your teachers, because you guys, they're amazing and they love you and they work very, very hard for you. So when you're done with the snowball activity, your teacher is going to have a stack of cards that say shine on one side of them. I want you to take some time to write thank you notes to your teachers. Please put their names on the cards, address them, dear Miss whatever, and write them a note and tell them how much you appreciate them and tell them why. Once you have all the names on there and the notes written, you can turn those into your teachers, and then I will sort through them and make sure that they get to all of your teachers. And write a few. You have 6 teachers, right? So write a lot of thank you notes today. It'll make you feel so good to thank them for what they're doing for you, and it'll also make their day. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed today's Wildcat Pride activity. I can't wait to hear how it goes. I can't wait to hear how you're doing really. And I also can't wait to read the sweet notes that you write to your teacher, thanking them for their hard work. Enjoy your long weekend. Get some rest. Do some homework. Do some NTIs if you have them. And I will see you bright and early on Tuesday morning. Love you, and see you soon.